Hello there, Linus here, and this is the @sign. This is used for emailing and tagging. Despite its modern use, its origins date way back. Before the information era and the internet, this sign was even on typewriters, though you can tell that its use was quite rare because of its positioning, on the top right corner. People were so rarely using this symbol that it would even appear on different keys on various typewriters. But today we use it for emails and tags and sales and marks, as for computers, languages and sport events. It is used worldwide as long as we all have internet as a fundamental mean of today's telecommunications. In English, there is no specific name, but around the world, this sign has a lot of names. In English, we just call it the @sign, though in French, this is called arrobas. In Spanish and Portuguese, this is called arroba. You may hear it calling it alpha sand in East Asia, but in Italy this sign is called snail. In Greece it is called duckling, and the Dutch call it monkey tail. There's a lot of funny or even cute names for this symbol, but even though we all use it almost every day, we do not know where it all began. Its origins are somewhat of a mystery, but what it is known is that monks in medieval Europe were most commonly the ones who were carrying the knowledge of the manuscripts. They were spending a lot of time on maintenance and study, and if a manuscript's ink was erased or just worn out, they were rewriting the content. This was time-consuming, and monks were trying to find shortcuts. So one theory says that they converted the word ad, which means towards in Latin, writing a stylish A, with the back part of D as a tail. Another theory claims that the @sign finds its origins from the French word for at. And scribes, striving for efficiency, swept the nib of the pen around the top and side. Either of those theories is true, this sign derives from the word at, towards. First documented use of this symbol was in 1345 by a Byzantine chronicler called Constantinos Manasses, who used it as a capital A for the word Amen. Since his manuscript was written in polytonic alphabet, which is simply text with written accentuation, it is most likely to derive from theory 2. Then it was again documented in 1536 in a letter by Francesco Lapi, a Florentine merchant who used at as an abbreviation for each at, the A being encased by an E. He did this to denote units of wine called amphorae. Centuries later, the symbol took a historic role in commerce. Merchants were using it to signify at the rate of, as in 5 clay jars at the rate of £1 equals 5 pounds. Still, the machine age was not so kind to the @sign. The first typewriters built in the mid-1800s did not include it at all. Likewise, it was not among the symbolic array of the earliest punch card tabulating systems, which were precursors to computer programming. The symbol's modern obscurity ended in 1971. At that time, each programmer was connected to a particular mainframe machine via a telephone connection and a teletype machine. Now, the teletype machine was basically a keyboard with a built-in printer. But these computers weren't connected to one another, they were isolated. The US government sought to overcome this constraint when they hired BBN Technologies and a computer scientist named Ray Tomlinson. He worked to develop a network called ARPANET, forerunner of the modern internet. Tomlinson's challenge was how to address a message created by one person and sent through the ARPANET to someone else at a different computer. The address needed an individual's name as well as the name of the computer. The problem with this simple relation is that a computer may service many users. Thus, he sought a symbol to separate those two address elements, and this symbol could not already be widely used in operating systems and programs in case computers were confused. Tomlinson's eyes fell on the @ symbol poised above P on the Model 33 Teletype. He said at Smithsonian, "I was mostly looking for a symbol that wasn't used much. And there weren't a lot of options, an exclamation point or a comma. I could have used an equal sign, but that wouldn't have made much sense. I chose this sign, probably saving from going the way the cent sign went on computer keyboards." Long story short, and he used his username followed by the @sign and the address of the computer. He sent an email which traveled from one teletype in his room through ARPANET and back to a different teletype. Although it was a historic moment, he said in an interview that the first email of any substance was a message announcing the availability of network email. The exact content is unknown, but for with that message, the ancient @ once nearly obsolete, became the symbolic linchpin of a revolution on how humans connect. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the earliest form of emailing and, of course, the Internet. Are you still there? You can find Ray Tomlinson's interview down in the video description.